What if I told you that the warm and down-to-earth couple who won our hearts by renovating homes in small-town Mississippi has now grown into HGTV's most powerful and influential duo? Ben and Erin Napier began their journey running a simple local stationery store. But their story didn't stop there. They are no longer just renovating houses for families in Laurel. They're transforming entire American towns and teaming up with dozens of other television stars along the way. And here's the remarkable part. They're accomplishing all of this while raising 2 young daughters and staying firmly rooted in the same small-town values that shaped them. So buckle up, because you're about to discover just how far Ben and Erin Napier have come, and where their inspiring path is taking them next. Their story begins much earlier than television fame. Ben and Erin Napier first caught the attention of millions through their HGTV hit series Hometown, where they restored aging houses and breathed life back into forgotten neighborhoods. But before their national success, their paths crossed in 2004 at Jones County Junior College in Ellisville, Mississippi. Erin, a design student who was part of the yearbook staff, had been given an assignment to write a profile about another student. That student happened to be Ben Napier. That one assignment not only brought them together, but also planted the first seeds of a partnership that would eventually grow into a career in design. Woodworking and television. Ben, towering at 6 feet 6 inches, stood out on campus not just for his height, but for his thoughtful, steady personality. He studied history and had a reputation for being grounded and kind-hearted, unlike many of his peers. Erin, with her sharp design eye and natural storytelling talent, completed her assignment. But the meeting sparked something greater, a strong personal connection that would change both of their lives. Erin's upbringing shaped her love for design and history. Growing up in Mississippi, she spent much of her childhood climbing trees, exploring woods, and searching for arrowheads. These early adventures gave her a keen eye for detail and a deep appreciation for natural materials and historical roots. Ben also picked up valuable skills outside of the classroom. While studying history, he worked part-time at an upholstery and furniture shop, where he learned woodworking techniques, furniture repair, and the art of craftsmanship. This experience taught him to see beauty in older items, recognizing that scratches and worn-out edges weren't flaws, but stories worth preserving. After college, the couple built their careers step by step. Erin first worked in corporate graphic design before founding her own company, Lucky Lux, which specialized in custom stationery. Her creative work gained international attention, turning the business into a success. Ben continued woodworking and also invested his time in community development. Together, they chose to settle in Erin's hometown of Laurel, Mississippi, a community that was struggling at the time. Its downtown was in decline, storefronts were empty, and historic homes had fallen into disrepair. Ben threw himself into the revitalization effort by joining Main Street America, an organization focused on restoring small-town downtowns across the nation. He eventually became president of the Laurel chapter, leading projects to attract new businesses and preserve historic buildings. At the same time, Erin began blogging about their restoration projects, posting photos, stories, and glimpses into their lives in Laurel. Her blog quickly gained traction beyond Mississippi, capturing readers who admired her design sensibilities, love of history, and ability to turn small-town living into something beautiful. It wasn't long before television producers noticed the Napiers. They believed Ben and Erin's work in Laurelland, their undeniable chemistry, could inspire a national audience. At first, the couple hesitated. They had never dreamed of being on television. But when they realized that a TV platform could amplify their mission of helping people and reviving small towns, they agreed. And in January 2016, Hometown premiered on HGTV. Unlike many home renovation shows filled with drama and flashy upgrades, Hometown stood apart. Each episode focused on families choosing an older house, and then Ben and Erin worked to restore it with care. Erin handled design, creating warm, livable spaces that balanced historic charm with modern comfort. Ben built custom furniture and restored original features, giving each home soul and character. Viewers loved the authenticity, the craftsmanship, the respect for history, and the genuine love for community. The show quickly became one of HGTV's most successful programs. It wasn't just about homes, it was about Laurel itself. Local businesses, artisans, and residents were often featured, turning the series into a love letter to small-town America. Fans flocked to Laurel, boosting the local economy and making the town a destination in its own right. As their influence grew, Ben and Erin launched new projects. They opened the Laurel Mercantile Company, a downtown store selling American-made goods, including Ben's handcrafted furniture and Erin's home designs. The store became a hub for fans. HGTV also expanded their brand with Hometown Takeover, where instead of focusing on one house, the couple worked on revitalizing an entire town. This proved their mission was bigger than just renovating homes. It was about saving communities. Meanwhile, the couple embraced parenthood, raising their two daughters, Helen and May. While they occasionally share glimpses of family life, they've kept the focus on their passion for design, craftsmanship, and community. Over multiple seasons, Hometown has stayed true to its original values, preserving historic homes, celebrating small-town life, and showing viewers that restoration is more than construction. It's about care, legacy, and heart. There, rise from a college assignment to nationally recognized television. Hosts shows how local passion can grow into national influence. They didn't set out to be famous. They set out to make a difference. And in doing so, they became one of HGTV's most beloved couples. Yet, like all journeys, theirs hasn't been without challenges. They faced criticism, health struggles, and the relentless pressures of fame. Still, through it all, they remain committed to the same mission, helping small towns thrive. One project at a time. The Napiers and their hardworking crew poured energy and vision into updating spaces, making them not only more inviting, but also functional for events in everyday living. One of their most memorable undertakings was the renovation of Sebring Soda, a shop that had been a cornerstone of the community for generations. Families had gathered there for years, and Ben and Erin treated it with care and respect. Inside, they preserved precious historic details such as the old transom windows and vintage cabinets, ensuring that the past was never erased. At the same time, they brightened the interior, layering in a fresh design that gave the shop new life. This balance of restoration and innovation perfectly reflects the Napiers' larger philosophy, always honoring history, while breathing energy into spaces so they can thrive again. Across the 6 episodes of Hometown Takeover in Sebring, audiences watched as more than a dozen projects came to life. These included private homes, public gathering spaces, and local businesses, all carrying the same powerful message: small towns matter. With creativity, care, and vision, towns that may feel forgotten can flourish once again. For the Napiers, this work is far more than construction. It is about instilling hope, restoring pride, and strengthening the identity of a community beyond television. Ben and Erin have stretched their design influence through meaningful collaborations. One of their most notable partnerships is with Shades of Light, a lighting company that worked with them to create a special collection of products inspired by their hometown of Laurel, Mississippi. The concept was simple. They know what they want, but they don't know where to find it. But we do. Their designs beautifully combine classic Southern charm with modern elegance, allowing fans to bring a touch of the hometown style into their own kitchens, living rooms, or bedrooms. This collaboration demonstrates how the Napiers have transformed their creative vision into a recognizable brand that reaches far beyond the screen. Their influence continues to expand through their flagship HGTV show, Hometown. In 2023, HGTV announced a major renewal, confirming that new episodes would continue through 2027. This long-term contract ensures that viewers will keep seeing the stories of Laurel, Mississippi, as the Napiers work their magic in restoring old homes and giving them second lives. For longtime fans, this renewal was proof that the couple's appeal remains strong and that audiences are still eager to see more of their work, their story, and their impact. But Ben and Erin's mission is not confined to design and television. In 2023, they stepped into a new role as nonprofit founders. They launched Osprey, an acronym for Old School Parents Raising Engaged Youth. The organization's focus is on the influence of social media and technology on children's lives. The Napiers have been open about their belief that kids should not have social media accounts until high school, voicing concern that too much online exposure damages confidence in relationships. Through Osprey, they hope to encourage families to slow down, spend meaningful time together, and give children space to grow without the heavy pressures of digital life. The initiative sparked both praise and debates, and parents applauded the guidance. While others argued that technology is now inseparable from daily life, for the Napiers, though, Osprey represents their values as both parents and community leaders. Even with television shows, business ventures, and nonprofit work, the Napiers continue to carve out time for deeply personal projects. One of their ongoing endeavors is the renovation of a country house just outside Laurel. This retreat is designed as a family sanctuary, a place where they can step away from cameras and deadlines. Like every project they take on, the home reflects their attention to comfort, warmth, and beauty. For them, it symbolizes rest, something precious and rare in their busy lives. Balancing all of this with family responsibilities is no small task. Ben and Erin are raising 2 daughters, Helen and May, and have often shared that keeping family at the center of their world is their top priority. Even when filming schedules or business duties pile up, they remain rooted in Laurel, surrounded by friends and relatives. Erin has expressed her desire for her girls to grow up in a town where they know their neighbors, play freely outdoors, and experience the simple joys of belonging to a community. That vision guides nearly every decision they make. From the projects they choose to the place they continue to call home, daily life, however, is far from simple. Filming a series like Hometown Takeover involves long hours of planning, physical labor, and coordination. Running their local business, Laurel Mercantile, adds yet another layer of responsibility. Add to this the travel, interviews, and partnerships they juggle, and the picture becomes clear. Their lives are demanding and often exhausting. Erin has even admitted to worrying about how the strain might affect their family. Yet, through it all, the desire to create a meaningful life for their children pushes them forward. Today, Ben and Erin Napier stand at the intersection of many roles. They are television hosts influencing how millions of viewers see the value of small towns. They are designers shaping homes across the country through collaborations. They are nonprofit leaders challenging families to rethink technology. They are entrepreneurs supporting their own community. And, most importantly, they are parents raising 2 daughters with love, intention, and care. What makes their story compelling is not just the visible success the shop's restored, the house is saved, or the contracts renewed, but the meaning that underlies their choices. Whether they are renovating a soda shop in Florida, creating a lamp with a national brand, or starting a nonprofit to guide parents, their work is driven by a commitment to values. Their journey has not been free of challenges. They have faced health struggles, overwhelming workloads, and the unrelenting pressure of public attention. Yet, through resilience, they continue to expand their influence while staying rooted in Laurel. For many fans, the Napiers are more than home renovators. They are role models for balancing work, family, and community with grace. Their story is not a checklist of projects completed, but a portrait of a couple using their talents to lift others while protecting their own time, health, and family bonds. They remind audiences that true success is not only measured in fame or contracts, but in staying true to what matters most, family and community. Life behind the cameras is both ordinary and extraordinary. Away from filming, the Napiers lead a wholesome life filled with gardening, cooking, raising children, and celebrating traditions. Fame has not carried them away from their roots. Their days in Mississippi and at their country home are often filled with outdoor fun, the very kind of simple pleasures they want to shape their daughter's childhood around. Helen, the adventurous older daughter, and May, still discovering her place in the family, often travel with their parents when projects take them away from Laurel. During the Sebring season of Hometown Takeover, the girls join their parents in Florida, giving the show an added personal touch that reminded viewers of the family behind the brand, their country house. Surrounded by tall pines and open fields, holds a special place in their lives. Built in the 1930s, it has stood strong for decades even surviving a tornado in the 1980s, with barely a mark. Its old pine beams, broad plank floors, and solid woodwork remain intact. And the Napiers have worked to keep its character alive. Inside, Erin has shaped the design into a true family space, warm, welcoming, and filled with life. The kitchen is practical yet inviting. The living room fosters conversation. And the children's rooms are designed for play, reading, and creativity. One of the most treasured items is a handmade crib Ben built for May, which has now been carefully stored away for the future. Perhaps for grandchildren someday. The property also includes a greenhouse and garden, crafted with old barn doors and reclaimed windows. Here, Erin and Ben plant hydrangeas, the same flowers she carried at their wedding, and involve their daughters in watering, planting, and picking herbs. These small moments teach the girls patience, responsibility, and the beauty of nurturing life. Community remains central to their rhythm, too. Ben, raised in a household of preachers, where service was a way of life, continues to practice generosity, sharing harvests, lending hands to neighbors, and passing on those values to his children. Erin fills their home with traditions, crafts, family meals that connect the girls to a sense of belonging. Parenting, of course, comes with its own challenges. Ben admits that raising daughters has been an adjustment after growing up with 3 brothers. He often questions whether he is being too strict or too lenient, while Erin shares the same learning curve. Filming schedules and renovation demands sometimes mean rushed meals or postponed family time. Maintaining an old home and garden adds to the workload. Yet, in every challenge lies an opportunity for teaching Helen and May lessons of patience, resilience, and appreciation for tradition. The Napiers' private life enriches their public work. Erin's designs often draw inspiration from her farm childhood, while Ben's carpentry carries lessons of durability and tradition passed down to him. Together, they strive to create homes that reflect the same values they live, by spaces filled with warmth, stories, and history. Ordinary yet extraordinary, that is the paradox of Ben and Erin's life. Ordinary because it is grounded in routines like gardening, cooking, and raising children. Extraordinary because they maintain those routines while living under the constant gaze of national television. Their story is one of balance, doing big things on screen while protecting the small, meaningful moments at home. The Napiers' country home has become more than just a retreat. It is a living classroom where Helen and May learn the rhythms of nature and the importance of tradition. When the girls run barefoot through the grass, climb trees, or return indoors with messy hair and muddy shoes, Erin sees that as a victory. To her, those are the signs of a rich and meaningful childhood, the kind of childhood she wants them to treasure when they grow older. Every creak of the old pine floors and every crack in the woodwork tells a story, reminding the family that beauty often lies in what has endured. For Ben, the solidity of the house is a source of pride. He often points out how strongly it was built, marveling at the craftsmanship that allowed it to withstand storms and decades of wear. His carpentry projects echo the same respect for durability. One of his most personal pieces, the handmade crib he built for May, was tucked away carefully when she outgrew it. Instead of discarding it, they kept it as a family heirloom, a future gift for the next generation. In the Napiers' world, objects are never just objects. They carry memories, legacies, and love. The greenhouse and gardens at their country house deepen that sense of continuity. Built with reclaimed barn doors and old windows, the greenhouse is not only practical, but symbolic. It represents their constant effort to root the past into the present. Each season, the family works together in the garden. Erin plants hydrangeas, recalling the flowers she carried at her wedding, while the girls help with watering and harvesting herbs. These simple tasks turn into lessons about patience, growth, and stewardship. Through gardening, Helen and May learn that care, time, and persistence lead to beauty, a lesson their parents hope will shape their character as they grow. Community service. 2, remains at the core of the Napiers' lives. Ben was raised in a household where generosity was a way of life, and he continues that legacy by sharing harvests, lending help to neighbors, and showing his daughters the importance of giving back. Erin complements this by nurturing family traditions, holiday crafts, homemade meals, and celebrations that connect their children to something larger than themselves. Together, they weave daily life into a tapestry of belonging, ensuring their daughters grow up with a strong sense of roots and identity, even with their packed schedules. The Napiers view travel as an opportunity for family adventure rather than just work. Trips for filming or business often double as chances for discovery. Museums, farms, and historic parks become playgrounds for learning, where Helen and May can explore and ask questions. Erin frequently captures these moments in photographs, sharing glimpses of the girls marveling at history or discovering something new. To the Napiers, these experiences prove that even in the whirlwind of television commitments, time for exploration and joy must be preserved. The design of their homes also reflects this philosophy. Rather than replacing, they restore, keeping original beams, repurposing wood, and filling spaces with handmade items. Their interiors are not showrooms staged for perfection. Instead, they are warm, lived-in spaces filled with children's art, toys, books, and plants by the windows. Family photographs line the shelves, and every corner tells a story. Their homes are not just houses. They are living histories of love, resilience, and continuity. Parenting, however, remains an ongoing journey of learning. Ben admits that raising daughters has stretched him in unexpected ways. Growing up with 3 brothers gave him little preparation for the delicate balance of fathering girls. He often wonders whether he is being too strict or too lenient, and he leans on Erin as they figure it out together. These parenting challenges are paired with the physical demands of their careers-long filming days, labor-intensive renovations, deadlines, and constant travel. Maintaining their country home requires steady effort, too, as old houses and gardens always demand more care. Yet, despite the exhaustion, they embrace it all as part of the life they have chosen. In many ways, the challenges strengthen their purpose. Every obstacle, from hectic schedules to the stresses of public attention, becomes another reminder of why they do what they do. Their daughters are learning resilience and patience, not only from gardening and home projects, but from watching their parents juggle commitments with grace and persistence. These lessons, Ben and Erin believe, are more valuable than any episode of television or business partnership. The Napiers' private world constantly feeds their public one. Erin's designs often draw inspiration from her childhood on a farm, shaping her love for rustic beauty and authenticity. Ben's carpentry reflects values passed down from his family, rooted in strength and tradition. Together, they channel these influences into the homes they design for others, spaces that carry the same warmth, durability, and honesty they protect in their own lives. They remain careful about what they share publicly, offering fans glimpses without fully opening the door. A family trip here. Museum photo there is just enough to remind viewers that beyond the television personalities are parents who, like anyone else, are simply trying to raise their children with love and wisdom. Their story, at its heart, is about balance. The balance between the extraordinary national television, brand partnerships, and community-wide transformations, and the ordinary family dinners, its bedtime stories, gardening, and school runs. It is this delicate dance that makes the Napiers so relatable. They are proof that it is possible to achieve big things while holding tightly to the small ones that matter most. Ben and Erin. Napier's lives are both ordinary and extraordinary. Ordinary because they echo the rhythms of many families, meals, traditions, chores, and love. Extraordinary because they protect those rhythms fiercely, even under the glare of fame. In doing so, they tell a larger story, that success is not about wealth, contracts, or public recognition, but about keeping family, love, and authenticity at the very center of life.